Good evening, Lancers. Welcome to the commencement of the class of 2017. Please stand for the presentation of our nation's colors by our District 201 JROTC. They are joined by the Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Army, and Marines. Please remain standing for the national anthem played by the Belleville Wind and Symphonic Wind Ensembles under the direction of Mr. Mark Testero, and then remain standing for a moment of silence. At this time, I ask for a moment of silence to remember those no longer with us. Let our silence serve as a symbol of love and respect for them. Thank you. You may be seated. Tonight, we celebrate the class of 2017. Graduates, thank you for 4 years of doing it the Lancer way. We are confident that you will continue to be successful and make a difference in our community and beyond. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Kyle Rinsing, Student Council President who will give the senior proclamation.
Like every assignment I've had the last 4 years, I wrote this speech last minute. I mean, we all learned about the Pythagorean theorem, the Odyssey, and the way our government works, but the one thing I never learned here at East was how to stop procrastinating. Heck, I turned in my school books an hour ago. We were slow to start our homework, study for the big test, and complete projects, but the one thing we did in a hurry was grow up. We are rushing to become adults and to start our lives, but that is how you miss the important moments. This is not the time to figure everything out and have all the answers. It is a time to mess up and to learn. It is a time to try new things and decide who you are. It is also a time to figure out who you are not. The important thing to remember is, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. It is now my privilege and honor to introduce Dr. Jeff Dozier, Superintendent of District 201.
Good evening and welcome. I always like to give the graduates a bit of advice. Tonight, I advise you to hold on to your hats. I'm extremely proud to serve as Superintendent of District 201. At this time, I'd like to introduce our school board members who are with us this evening. Our president, Kurt Schrader, board member Marvin Lampkin. We have some administrators from the central office, Brian Menzer, Melissa Taylor, Andrea Gannon, Malcolm Hill, and Josh Lane. Graduates, you have many opportunities before you as you leave Belleville East. Take the time to thank your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, and any others who have played a role in your life. Spend time with your family and let them know you appreciate what you've done or what they have done for you. The last thing that I would like to tell you is to make wise choices. Think about your choices. Each choice that you make from now on could affect you for the rest of your life. Choose to make the best of each opportunity you have each day. On behalf of the Board of Education, I congratulate you on your accomplishments and wish you a lot of success in your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dozier. Graduates, there are many individuals that have supported you the past 4 years, both directly and indirectly. At this time, I would like to introduce the Belleville East administration that is with us this evening. Associate Principal, Mr. Warren Ferns. Assistant Principals, Mr. Chris Brown, Mr. Al Daniel, and Mrs. Marshawn Warren. Behavioral Interventionist, Mrs. Kaylin Larson, and Coordinator of Special Education, Mrs. Kim Martin. Tonight, we also celebrate the retiring staff of Belleville East. Each has had an impact on your success, and we appreciate their dedication to Belleville East, District 201, and the community. I ask that each retiree stand if they are present when introduced. Mrs. Pat Fitzgerald, Mr. Mike Fornes, Mrs. Mary Guest, Mrs. Tammy Hettenhausen, Mrs. Mary Kamer, Mr. Doug McCrary, Mrs. Pat Mertens, Mr. Roger Siekman, and Mr. John Tutsa. Thank you, Lancers, and we wish you a happy retirement. At this time, I would like to recognize the outstanding faculty and staff of Belleville East High School with us this evening. Please stand. We thank you for your dedication and service to the class of 2017 and the Lancer community. In an effort to recognize the highest academic achievement of students at Belleville East, we developed a program to honor the top 1%, the top 5%, and the top 10%. These students are identified by wearing different colored stoles. We also recognize those students that have been inducted into various academic honor societies. They are recognized with different colored cords. These stoles and cords are identified in your graduation program. This year, we begin a new tradition of honoring our students that have enlisted in the military. They are wearing red, white, and blue tassels. Students designated in the top 1%, summa cum laude, will deliver thoughts of farewell. Please welcome the class of 2017 summa cum laude representatives. First, I would like to introduce Mr. David Barrett Ness.
Tonight, we are all part of a remarkable milestone. We are the 50th graduating class from Belleville East. Over the last 5 decades, Belleville East has seen much change. In 1966, the Vietnam War was escalating, and the U.S. and Russia were fighting the Cold War. While the Cold War is simply history, no one can miss the modern parallels. Meanwhile, we've been changing, even if it was only for 4 years. Look at yourself and picture your freshman self, swimming through the hallways at 5 feet tall and quietly asking for directions with voices high enough to warrant a chuckle from anyone who heard. I'm sure many of us laugh just thinking about it, but we can all see how we've developed during our time here at East. From nervously walking into class at 8:30 on freshman orientation, wearing khakis and polos, to defiantly leaving campus this past Friday, wearing collared shirts and jeans. We've become completely different people in 4 short years. We entered as quiet, unsteady adolescents. We're leaving as outspoken, composed adults ready to move on. Despite the inevitable changes, one thing is certain. Our class will always have a part in Lancer history. Now I'd like to introduce Catherine Smith and Ryan Holton.
It's hard for us to know what it felt like to be on the Belleville East campus 50 years ago. But today, it is an uplifting place where people respect each other and always have a great time. Where else can you find a principal riding a horse at a televised pep assembly and watch students and faculty dance around and cheer on Central Terrace at lunch? Even on our most stressful days, smiling faces and laughter still light up the campus. Most of us here have been involved in these fun school activities in some way. We have cheered on our teams, dressed up for spirit days, and been involved in drama, both inside the pack and sometimes accidentally on Snapchat. On our last day of school, we had an unforgettable, spontaneous dance party. These final moments together showed that we are not just friends, but family. East has become our home away from home.
And this home became much more relaxing when the administration decided to allow spirit wear our freshman year. And let me tell you, we took full advantage of that. It gives the campus a relaxed and joyous feeling, one that my classmates and I love. This happiness is especially bolstered by Mr. Karstens. Every day, without fail, he can be seen on Central Terrace with an enthusiastic smile on his face. He interacts with the students and never fails to brighten their day. The faculty and Mr. Karstens try their hardest to keep things interesting and help fight off the monotony that school can sometimes become. And during the evenings, no matter what time of year, At least one sports team will be winning, as their classmates cheer them on. I'd now like to introduce Caitlin Peters and Claire LeBlanc.
"50 years of Friday night football games, pep rallies, prom, and student sections. Some of the best traditions never change."
Since 1966, East athletics and activities have been a prominent part of the Lancer experience. When the school opened, only boys played on the 7 sports teams, but students still devoted an entire week to celebrate school spirit. During Loyalty Week, each class built a float, paraded from East through downtown Belleville, and displayed their school spirit. Girls battled on the Powder Puff football title, and all students ended the celebration with a 15-foot tall bonfire.
This idea has transformed into what we now know as Homecoming Week. Today, students compete in relay events while participating on senior Olympic teams. Teachers show off their dance moves during the assembly, and Henry Rubio leads our student section in cheering on the Lancer football team.
While some things have stayed the same, thankfully, others have changed.
Girls can now participate in a variety of sports, and we've added new club sports and activities to our campus.
And boys' basketball shorts have gotten longer.
Who knows what the traditions will look like in the next 50 years? Perhaps some of us will return as teachers to feel the roar of each class's chanting during the homecoming assembly, or maybe our children will wake up early to pull a senior prank, hopefully more successfully than we did.
But no matter what traditions occur in the future, or what traditions we all form during our next 4 years, the class of 2017 will always have the unique experiences that made us into the Lancer family we are today.
And now we'd like to introduce our friends Eddie Camion and Kelsey Nee.
As with basketball shorts, the world of academics looks very different now from how it did 50 years ago. Of course, we're all familiar with today's core subjects of math and English, but when East first opened its doors, many students were enrolled in classes like business and home economics. Back before even entry-level positions required a bachelor's and 5 years job experience, students were able to begin their adult lives right out of high school. And just as it does today, East made sure that they were prepared for their future.
The biggest change, though, comes in the field of technology. When this school first opened, computers were the size of a classroom and cost way too much to buy for every teacher. Now, we have a computer in every room, a calculator in every backpack, and a phone in every pocket that we definitely only use during passing periods. Just imagine how research papers have changed. You used to spend hours sorting through page after page of these dusty old things called books. Now, you just type your question into Google and get hundreds of exact answers in seconds. Then you can use all that extra time to check in on your Snapchat streaks or scroll through your Twitter feed. And now, keeping in touch with the friends we've made these past 4 years will be easier than ever with the help of social media and group chats. And technology has allowed students to soar to new academic heights by making it easier than ever to access information.
But academics aren't defined by technology. They aren't even defined by the subjects offered here. They're defined by the people, the students and teachers, who make up each class. Here at East, we've been lucky to have some of the best teachers around, teachers who truly care about their students and want them to succeed. Although I'm sure few of us will have fond memories of all the sleepless nights of homework or those weeks of preparation for that big test, our teachers knew that the education we received here would become the foundation of our future. Throughout East's 50 years, their dedication to their students has remained constant, and not one of us would be here without them.
But of course, we're here now, and tonight is our night. Tonight is the result of all of the hard work we've poured into this school for the last 4 years. Tonight is our accomplishment. So as you say goodbye to East, be proud of your achievements. Be proud of what you've done. because at long last, you're finished. And now we'd like to introduce Ivy Trong and Michelle Nguyen. So I guess this is it. No more of those projects and panic attacks. No more Bosco sticks and whole wheat pretzels from the cafeteria. No more walking through Central Terrace on a rainy day. And no more pushing, shoving, and kicking. I mean patiently waiting to get into F building.
No more wasting money on t-shirts and dress code. In a few months, we'll be wasting money on cell phone bills and overpriced tuition. And in a few months, life will still go on at East, just without us. Next year, another group of seniors will be leading the school. A new group of freshmen will be the ones lost in the hallways. Some of the retiring teachers in the audience will be absent in the next graduation.
It may be easy to see changes when we look back 50 years, but changes are happening every year, every day. In an hour, we'll be alumni, not students, and in a few months, we'll be college students, military personnel, or employees. So where will we be in the next 50 years?
SpongeBob still won't have his driver's license.
High School Musical will be celebrating its 61st anniversary.
Unfortunately, Zac Efron will still be too old for us.
The iPhone 57 will be able to do your laundry, but still won't have a headphone jack.
The Cubs will not have a World Series in 51 straight years.
Everyone will have a flying car.
Movies will be in 70.
Dogs will be walking us.
And we'll be living on Mars.
And East will be celebrating its 100th anniversary. But the future is not set in stone. Our only certainty is that the future will happen, whether we like it or not.
We'll have to be prepared for it. And that's what tonight symbolizes. Our ability to change the future. So, class of 2017, here's to all the changes that have happened, and here's to all the changes yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, graduates. August 2013, 560 students walked on to Belleville East campus for their first day as Belleville East Lancer freshmen. I'm really not sure who was more nervous, them or your parents. August 2016, the class of 2017 walked on to Belleville East campus for their first day as seniors and became leaders, students of character, and role models to younger Lancers. You all should be proud. You are the graduating class as we celebrate 50 years of educational excellence. You knocked it out of the park with some of the highest test scores in the state of Illinois. And now, you are part of the reason Belleville East is ranked as one of the best high schools by U.S. News and World Report. In education, we often measure growth to assess the scope of knowledge a student has learned and the effectiveness of the instruction a teacher has delivered. Graduates, you have shown much growth over your 4 years. Tonight, you will all go different directions. No matter what direction you take, make a difference. For those of you joining the military, thank you for your future service to our country. Thank you for continuing to protect our freedoms. For those of you who are college-bound, you are prepared to be successful because you have already survived the rigorous curriculum and instruction from the best teachers in the state. Be a leader on campus, become involved, and make a difference. For those of you beginning your careers, be dedicated to your job and company, work your way up, become the boss. No matter what direction you take, I challenge you to be known. I challenge you to be known as the next Belleville East Wall of Fame inductee. I challenge you to be known as the District 201 graduate that is now a District 201 teacher or administrator at Belleville East. I challenge you to be known as the 4-star general. I challenge you to be known as the boss. No matter what you do, be the best at what you do. Class of 2017, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Belleville East High School, good luck with all of your future endeavors. Remember, once a Lancer, always a Lancer. We look forward to seeing the difference you will continue to make. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Kurt Schrader, President of the District 201 Board of Education. Mr. Schrader, would you please come forward?
Good evening. It is my honor to accept the class of 2017 on behalf of the Board of Education, and the board extends to all of the graduates all the best. Mr. Karstens, will you please read the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Schrader. Graduates, the time has come. We now celebrate you, the graduates of the class of 2017. Marshals, please come forward. David Michael Barrett Ness. Eddie Preston Camiant. Ryan Thomas Holton. Kelsey Jean Nee. Claire Marie LeBlance. Aaron Michelle McKinney. Michelle Elizabeth Nguyen. Caitlin Rose Peters. Catherine Marie Smith. Ivy True Trong. Gabrielle Paige Barton. Nika Faye Beck. Eric David Burnell. Alyssa Lauren Blomberg. Desmond Armand Crummer. James Michael Ferreri. Morgan Elizabeth Fleshrin. Michaela Elise Griffin. Sydney Taylor Hartung. Sarah Michelle Largent. Lauren Alexis Murphy. Taylor Ray Pruitt. Joseph Alan Radecki. Brittany Nichelle Rice. Brandon Michael Schroeder. Nicole Olivia Scott. Neil Emerson Wegerson. Remy Kate Williams. Brittany Renee Zoyner. Jada Monique Abrams. Jada Amari Adams. Alyssa Jean Agni. Alexis Tori Anderson. Abriel Akela Asbury. Lydia Joy Allcamp. Holly McKenna Badgley. Judith Alejandra Burnell. Ariel Elise Beavers. Amaje Cariel Brown. Rachel Lee Coleman. Amanda Nicole Dermody. Matthew Nicholas Erb. Marcus William Henry. Amani Jashay Hill. Megan Elizabeth Cordy. Daphne Morgan Lane. Brendan Michael McInch. Julia Claire Myrink. Graham Robert Mueller. Brianna Kiera Nichols. Brianna Dawn Pickens. Brittany Ann Pickens. Lane Adair Price. Christopher Thomas Ritter. Casey Margaret Robaker. Carl Ward Walker. Jaden Toussaint Webb. Ransford Jamal White. Caribbean Michelle Scott. Camille Elise Abrams. Jack Andrew Aki. Deja Micaiah Adams. Timothy Xavier Adams. Anthony Adam Agee. Taylor Star Atkins. Alondro Leonard Aldridge. Tyler Gannon Alfini. Tashana Janelle Allen. Gibson Henry Almgren. Imani Eulela Andrews. Ellie Marie England. Essence Monet Anthony. James Matthew Antonakis. Esther Oyong. Ian Bradley Austin. Mohammed Azim Azar. Jabrion Akil Bacon. Shania Constance Bailey. Taylor Lynette Ballard. Rachel Aaron Barge. Brianna Jacqueline Bauer. Dontrene Jacqueline Levon Baxton. Gavassier Alicia Beckman. Elise Maria Bedard. Austin Donald Stephen Behrman. Jamal Tyreek Bell. Jessica Linnell Belzer. Jordan Savion Benson. Tristan Lee Bergman. Peter Joseph Burt. Mitchell Blake Bishop. Shannon Leanna Black. Crystal Joe Blakeney. Dewan Cortez Bledsoe. Aaron Michael Bone. Kylie Marie Boring. Alyssa Jane Boscheinreither. Ariel Anale Bowens. Onay Bowens. Abby Lauren Bradley. Marvion D. Brady. Malik Jamal Brandon. Taylor Marie Braswell. Trisha Renee Brown. Caitlin Catrice Brimage. Keandra Latrice Britt. Cameron Joseph Brooks. Tyler Lane Brooks. Amandre Latrell Brown. Jamaria Brown. Tupac Lawan Brown. Jonathan Paul Joseph Brigham. Madison Eileen Bruns. Noah Riley Bruns. Elizabeth Christine Buckman. Zachary Michael Buscher. Kayla Marie Booz. Nicholas Lee Booz. Deanna Kayla Bunton. Brandon Michael Butler. Octavia Mikkel Monique Campbell. Raina Mia Campbell. Brendan Jeremiah Frederick Canada. Nicholas Christian Cange. Jakari Terrell Cannon. Tamia Monique Cannon. Chase Anthony Carpenter. Jason Kyle Carr. Christopher Alexander Castellanos. Braxton Michael Chandler. Daryl Cortez Cherry. Kiara Nicole Cherry. Eric Lamont Chisholm. Faith Micah Chisholm. Sarah Brielle Chisholm. Devin Sang Chu. Chantil Sierra Clark. Mariah Lemuel Claypool. Cody Dakota Coates. Tabitha Claire Coburn. Asia Monte Coleman. Ariana Zakia Coleman. Devin James Coleman. Alexis Justine Coleman. Marielle Jacquet Coleman. Rachel Nicole Collins. Maya Deshawn Coney. Isaiah Nathaniel Conway. Hannah Marie Cook. Dylan Owls Correa. Lindsay Louise Cassi. Allison Nicole Costello. Catherine Gail Cottle. Kayla Leanne Consul. Robert Marion Kraft. Kevion Michael Crawford. Deja Marie Cross. Chase Walker Cruikshank. Devana Nicole Soraya Crutcher. Nina Marie Cummings. Brandon Eric Curran. Lamaya Andrea Daniels. Claude Fernandez Davis. Dakota James Davis. Jayla Rose Davis. Jermisha Alexandra Davis. Kiera Lachey Davis. Stephen Austin Davis. Tabitha Marie Davis. Deja Monique Day. Jasmine Louise Day. Isabella Ann Delamano. Kiyoshi Janae Dent. Gretchen Rose Devaney. Sadie Lynn Dillard. Andrew William Dolkey. Nandia Shatrice Dow Haynes. Alyssa Marie Donato. Kiera Cerise Douglas. Tierra Elise Douglas. Cassidy Rosa Jane Dolling. Peyton Alexandra Dunham. Yasmian Isis Yvette Dunmars. Ryan Trevon Durham. Alex Dale Preston Eads. Chandler Lee Eason. Kaya Nicole Edmonds. Anjali Louise Island. Elijah LaShawn Island. Maurice Lamont Island. Joshua Ryan Eisman. Alyssa Marie Inslee. Sherry Lene Evans. Sarah Elizabeth Eversman. Zachary Ray I. Alan Ray Faison. Kelly Marie Farmer. Amy Catherine Farrell. Paige Nicole Fideli. Cameron James Fisher. Christiane Jonathan Flamer. Brianna Nicole Flippin. Blake Redding Fowler. Dakota Allen Freppen. James Patrick Frew. Dylan Thomas Friedman. Micaiah Ajane Gales. Austin Lee Galloway. Karsten Thomas Gambo. Megan Cyan Garrett. Kyle Timothy Gartland. Alexander Riley Garza. Danielle Marie Gaston. Taylor Marie Gersteinecker. Aaliyah Tyann Gilkey. Frederick Lamont Gilmore Jr. Camille Nina Glover. Mikkel Deanjane Galladay. Clarissa Jean Gamora. Joshua Paul Good. Michaela Brianna Goretsky Shannon. Callie Adele Gorney. Mark Anthony Gorsuch. Gage Michael Graber. Asia Ann Graham. Anthony Granja Gonzalez. Douglas Warren Gray. Janae Lee Gray. Rochelle Elizabeth Gray. Jamie Nicole Green. Kalan DeMarco Green. Bria Lachey Greer. Destiny Deshae Griffin. Matt Ryan Groman. Preston Matthew Groves. Zoe Marie Guilford. Kara Ann Gunter. Brianna Janae Gurley. Isabella Denise Gutierrez. Terrence Antonio Guy. Jasmine Alexandria Hayden. Robert Andrew Hafner. Nicholas Reynolds Hahn. Tommy Lee Hale. Jayla Nicole Hall. Jordan Zion Hall Streeter. Aaron Carmela Halstead. Khalil Tariq Harper. Sydney Marie Harrington. Anicia Bianca Harris. Patricia Rochelle Harris. Stephen Michael Harris. Zyrin Ontario Ian Harris. Mia Ariana Hart. Gavin Damon Hartman. Maurice Laron Hawkins. Stephen LeVar Hawkins. Terrence Elijah Hawkins. Kayla Monet Hawthorne. Kara Elizabeth Hayen. Imogene Faye Hardy. Aniel Nicole Heavens. Darius Richard Henderson. Carmela Elise Henrich. Liliana Grace Henry. Nathan Michael Henry. Dakota Miguel Herrera. Rachel Ann Hickey. Alyssa Starr Hill. Demario Lamont Hinkle. Riley Christine Holloway. Taylor Nicole Holman. Kayla Shanale Holman. Michaela Capri Hubbard. James Michael Hebner. Isa Miracle Christiane Hughes. Ryan Everett Hughes. Derek Lamont Humphreys. Jermaine LaShawn Hunt. Kiora Destiny Robin Hunt. Misael Armandad Ibarra. Amina Jalen Irwin. Shantae Isaac. Braden Christopher Jace Isaacs. Adonis Shamar Jackson. Cortland Xavier Jackson. Keandra Lachey Jackson. Christian Jamel Jennings. Destiny Faith Johnson. Jacob Dylan Johnson. Matthew Carl Johnson. Wesley Randall Johnson III. Julian Alexander Jolly. Jasmine Marie Jones. Corey Corey Vincent Jordan. Dominic Angel Caribbean. Madison Marie Carl. Madeline Emma Keck. Amber Gail Kelso. Diallo Ajian Kennedy. Matthew Stevens Kern. Caitlin Michelle Kilzer. Maeve Ann Kincaid. Christopher Sean King. Sanders Russell Knox. Mackenzie Marie Kozinski. Brandon Tyler Kolak. Elizabeth May Kramer. Holly Elizabeth Crayer. Carolyn Nicole Kriegshauser. Luke Matthew Kranig. Riley Faye Keys. Sydney Nicole Kwiatkowski. Nicholas James LaBarba. Caitlin Marie Lacey. Alexander Christopher Lamb. Michael Paul Lassman. Evan Ray Lawrence. Cortaven Jerome Lee. Dominique Shadis Lee. Jessica Amanda Legault. Andrea Catalina Legizaman. Riley Elizabeth Lady. Desiree DeLewis Lewis. Ariel Emori Lewis. Amber Z. Lewis. LaRonda Nicole Lewis. Delisha Antoinette Liddell. Abigail May Lewis. Zachary James Linscott. Brandon Terrell Lofton. Leslie Michelle Love. DeMarco Ishawn Lovelace. Sadriana Ariel Lovelace. Adriana Shondian Loyai. Cameras Orlando Loomis. Imari Yvonne Lunn. Tanisha Marie Luster. Robert Lee Macklin. Christopher Eugene Malone Jr. Luke Patrick Markram. Tasia Janine Marshall. Harley Montgomery Martinez. Anthony James Maston. Brian Christopher Leroy Mateka. Andrew Joseph Matthews. Maisha Ann Matthews. Riandra Valeja Dominique Maddox. Noah Thomas Maurer. Christina Jonay Maxey. Anthony Stephen Mayo. Jordan Nicole McCarthy. Casey Lauren McCoy. Lucinda Charnay McDonald. Susan May McDowell. Johnny Cornell McElroy. Michael James McGarity. Samantha Ann McGee. Morgan Rose McInnes. Christian Alexander McGruger. Seth Marshall McKee. Jared David McKinney. Victoria Elizabeth McKinney. Deja Deanna McNamee. Richard Jacob McQueen. Dominic Matthew McCrae. Ryan Scott Mead. Jalen DeAbrion Meadows. Danielle Page Melnick. Austin Nicholas Millis. Noah Robert Miller. Jackson Matthew Mills. Mercedes Gabrielle Miner. Anthrianos Haranlambos Mendivas. Shatila Ann Nicole Mister. Courtney Marie Mitchum. Clinton Lamont Montgomery. Ariel Anetta Moore. Derica Angelique Moore. Tyra Christine Moore. Aaliyah May Moose. Roderick Duran Morgan. Janae Irene Mosby. Destiny Brianna Mosley. Jayshawn Tyrese Mosley. Natasha Nicole Mosley. Cameron DeAndre Nelson. Dan Lee Wynn. Michael Darnell Nicholson. Tanner James Nolte. Andrew Maxwell O'Brien. Lauren Ashley Olson. Nicholas Scott Orbeck. Adrian Orozco. Emily Elizabeth Ortiz. Rodney Jamal Outlaw. Jamarion Rashawn Palmer. Drudy Cannon Pandilla. Jessica Marie Parker. Aya Barrett Patel. Arnold Louis Batuma. Rose Marie Pavlovic. Cameron Christopher Pierce. LaQuisha Denise Pearson. Autumn Nicole Peel. Noah Frederick Perham. Darian Marquise Perkins. Sydney J. Marie Perkins. Armani Mornay Perryman. Sierra Lorraine Pete. Zachary Richard Phillip. Andrew Alphonse Phillips. Jordan Herbert Phillips. Brittany Taylor Finney. Ethan Connor Picard. Javon Malik Pickett. Kelvis Jerome Pearson. Erica Victoria Pirtle. Cameron Nicole Pirtle. Harley Lawrence Ponder. Kyle Scott Poole. Donna Nicole Porche. Thomas Daniel Potter. Gabrielle Patrice Quarles. Tyra Deshonda Corals. Carly Hannah Cork. Khalil Nicholson Rainey. Owen Charles Randall. Claire Elizabeth Randall. Michael James Randolph. Therese Anthony Randolph. Jacob Cade Rainey. Summer Elise Reed. Delano Jamil Redmond. Emily Caroline Reese. Jada Nicole Reed. Kyle Robert Rinsing. Abdullah Mohammed Reahi. Aaliyah Levon Reynolds. Deshaun Leo Reynolds. Nathan Tyreek Reynolds. Taylon Brene Reynolds. Christina Denise Rice. Christopher Dwayne Rice. Timothy David Richardson. Hannah Brooke Riffle. Madeline Jewel Riggle. Darier McGarry Rigsby. Camille Lachey Riley. Jace Richard Roach. Alexander Joseph Robbins. Sydney Lorraine Robinson. Megan Lee Roger. Zoe Marie Rowe. Natasha Elizabeth Roche. Brandon Grant Rose. Kaviana Jamisha Nicole Rose. Richard James Rother. Caitlin Christine Roy. Henry Fasoko Rubio. Mariah Gabrielle Rupert. Zachary Alexander Rutherford. Michaelin Renee Ryder. Trevor Emilio Sanchez. Matthew Barry Sepunar. Mariano Isaac Suabri. James Cortez Sales. Justin Lawrence Schmidt. Brody McKellen Schneer. Robert Lynn Schnarr. Audrey Virginia Schutz. Nicholas Dale Schwagel. Sydney Nicole Schwan. Julian Emmanuel Valentino Scott. Nigel Detrey Scruggs. Jamal Olayinka Olayemi Shalesi. Heaven Dion Michael Session. Alexander Joseph Shane. Kayla Nicole Shanklin. Braden Allen Shelley. David Corley Shepard. Dylan Alexander Shook. William Jordan Showers. Adam David Siddle. Caitlin Catherine Simmonsma. Imani Monet Smith. Lachelle Shantae Smith. Lamanya Renee Smith. Isaac Nathaniel Sneed. Colin Wesley Sabota. Joshua Soto Alvarez. Skylar Belsina Sparks. Shyla Candasia Spivey. Francesca Maria Spizzo. Joshua Scott David Stelling. Jacob Danielle Stone. Brandon Michael Strebel. John Wayne Stroje. McKenna Ashlyn Serber. Abigail Marie Sutton. Colin Blake Swanson. Enrico Ramon Sylvester. Taylor Marie Sylvester. Harrison Randall Tate. Ryan Michael Tate. Kaman Liddell Taylor. Brooke Ashley Tedesco. Evan Wright Timpany. Chloe Gabrielle Terry. Zachary Forrest Thatcher. Brittany Ann Thomas. Austin Chris Thurman. Daniel Cosme Amador Teig. Selena Ashlyn Toe. William Henry Travis. Kenneth Stephen Tripp. Spencer James Turner. Alexis Lynn Tyler. Sadie Mae Urban. Michael David Vasquez. Dylan Jackson Jean Foppel. Brittany Nicole Verbeck. Angela Giovanna Viney Graw. Emma Ruth Vinzen. Frank Stephen Valmer Jr. Sabrina Eileen Voss. Christopher Austin Wade. Aiden Fox Wagner. Catherine Ann Wagner. Jalise Brianna Walker. Richard Rico Walker. Cameron Christian Wallace. Lachey Siobhan Wallace. Lavondre Tyrese Wallace. Alex Michael Ward. Elizabeth Michelle Ward. Janira Jaqueline Ward. Nikayla Marie Warren. Regan Isis Warren. Jasmine Claire Watson. Savannah Rose Watts. Kiana Renee Weaver. Matthew Stephen West. Joseph Michael Wagant. Mia Denisha White. Michael Dennis White. Raven Janae White. Tamasia Larice White. Christian Michael Whited. Jessica Lee Weidman. Erica Shanae Wilbon. Anna Nicole Wildermuth. Brittany Michelle Wildermuth. Serena Ray Wilkes. Paige Marie Wilkin. Anthony Jerome Reynolds. Anthony Jerome Williams. Demetrell Darnez Williams. Daryl Williams. Delana Montrell Williams. Logan Gregory Williams. Nisha Kiana Williams. Kennedy Alexandria Willis. Aaliyah Danielle Wilson. Latrell Wilson. Victoria Monique Wilson. Davis Richard Wynn. Mallory Rose Wongler. David Jonathan Wolford. Chad William Wooler. Heather Marie Zelikowski. Marshals, you may now come forward. Thank you for your patience as we wait for the pictures to conclude. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Chris Brown, Assistant Principal of the Class of 2017, since their freshman year. I believe Mr. Brown started something with this class back during their freshman year, actually the first day of their freshman year, and he would like to bid a special congratulations to the graduates.
Make me proud, please. Lancers! 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 Thank you, and I love you all.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the parents and families for being here tonight. I want to thank all of you that have given up many hours, many days, many nights the last 4 years, as you were great Lancers and great supporters of Belleville East. I think this would be a great time for our graduates to give your parents, guardians, families, grandmas, grandpas, cousins a round of applause. Thank you for your patience. To the class of 2017, I congratulate you. I ask that you please stand and move your tassels from your right to the left, signifying your graduation from Belleville East High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please remain seated for the recessional of the Belleville East class of 2017. Thank you for being part of the Lancer community and the support and dedication you have given over the years for your graduate. Have a great evening. Mr. Tessero, please begin the recessional, and marshals lead the graduates.